Hello, Minne Made and More vendors. This is Melissa. Welcome to our Rose by Consignor Connect Inventory Management Training Video version 2.0. Rose by Consignor Connect is a third-party website that enables you to monitor and manage your store inventory in our point-of-sale system. I'm going to show you how to log into the portal, how to create, alter, and delete inventory, and how to print barcode labels for your products. You can speed up or slow down this video by clicking the gear in the bottom right corner and changing the playback speed. Also, I've enlarged my screen for this video, so this may look different on your own screen. To log into your account, you will need the portal link and your credentials. You can navigate to the portal login page from our website, minneMadeandmore.com, by going to Current Vendors and clicking on Connect to your portal here. This will open the portal page. Your credentials are your last name, first name, and 4-digit contract number. None of these fields are case sensitive. Fill out the fields and click Login. Because we use Rose solely for vendor inventory, I am just going to cover inventory, or what is known as my items. We have vendors who still have products in the legacy system, and customers use store coupons, which means payment data in Rose is inaccurate. I draw our payment data from Square. To get started, we will go to My Items. There are 3 buttons at the top of the page. Our focus is Selling or the landing page. This is your currently active inventory. This is where you will view, input, update, and delete your inventory. This is also where you will print labels. As far as the other screens, you can view your sold products under Activity as soon as the transaction is complete. If an item of yours sells that doesn't show up in the inventory, it won't appear here until we edit and post the sales batch in which the transaction took place. Again, because customers use coupons and the store runs specials, these values are also often inaccurate. Rest assured, it does show up in Square, so you will get paid. And as long as you enter the price correctly in Rose, the correct numbers show up in Square as well. Products reported as paid in Rose would display under Paid Sold, but for reasons I have already explained, we don't use this feature. Returning to the landing page, you'll see several other icons. At the top of the page, you'll see Create Item, Alter Item, and Delete Item. These are related to your inventory data entries. Next, you'll find a printer icon and Print View, which is a great tool when you'd like to complete inventory. Below that, you'll find Search, Reset, and Enter a partial search or SKU in a search field. Next comes a drop-down with Show the latest 50 items, where you can change the number of your inventory entries displayed. Then we have Select All, Unselect All, and Print Labels. Then we have a drop-down with Avery Labels 1 by 1 inch, Presta, and finally, you have the table with your inventory products and various column headings. We will cover some of these functions, but not all, so I encourage you to explore their uses on your own. When we first started using Rose, I asked you to use abbreviations and be brief. In the future, please use your full business name. Also, labels should be clear enough to help us differentiate between products. While I don't expect you to be exactly specific, here are some examples. Dress versus green Easter crocheted toddler dress, and balm versus vanilla mint lip balm. The item description paired with your business name will help us search for things in the inventory and confirm tag versus product. Clicking Create Item will launch the product input screen. At any time, you can back out or cancel by clicking Close. This will return you to Selling or the landing page with no changes to your inventory. Click on Create Item again. The first step to creating an item is to click Generate SKU. Then select Minne Made and More from the Location drop-down. If you do not complete the Location drop-down, you will not be able to complete other fields. In description, enter the product title. This will display on the product tag. There is a separate field for size, so please title accordingly. After description, select the Category drop-down. This is a version of the vendor number you were assigned when you signed with us. This is different from your 4-digit Rose contract number. It will be a 3-digit number followed by a 2 or 3-digit number and then your first name. For example, 01010 Melissa. When you make your selection, only the initial 3-digit number will display. For example, 010. Be very careful to select your own category. Under brand, please spell out your full business name. Next, completing the size field isn't required, but it is helpful. It is a free text field, so you can use numbers, letters, special characters, and spaces in any format. For example, small, 10 inches, or 4 by 4. The field quantity is required. If you do not enter at least the number 1, you will not be able to save this item. This also holds true if you edit a product with a quantity less than 1. After quantity comes price. When you enter the price, you must tab through, also known as use the tab key. When you do this correctly, 2 things will happen. A number automatically populates in the fee field, and a calendar pops up. All items default to a 90-day shelf life from the date they are entered into the system. These dates are printed on the price sticker and show up on the expiration report if we print it. This is helpful for product rotation, but we don't automatically remove products after 90 days. As for the calendar, you can simply click OK to close it. The fee is a 3.5% surcharge. This helps offset costs. In order for the fee to populate, you must tab past the price field. It is charged to the customer and comes back to the store. This does not impact your earnings. If you tab through and find you need to change the price, you must replace all digits in the price field and tab through for the field to update. On to the check boxes. The first one, no discounting, should be turned off and grayed out for everyone. This feature discounts products at an increasing percentage after set periods of time. We do not use it. The next box, never deletes expires, should also be grayed out but checked. This feature ensures your products remain in the inventory even if your quantity falls below 0. This is useful particularly if you intend to continuously restock that product. The next box, include tax, is on by default. This box designates whether products are taxable, checked, or non-taxable, blank, or unchecked. In Minnesota, food, clothing, and sewing material for clothing are non-taxable, with caveats. When you signed your contract, I provided the Minnesota Department of Revenue Fact Sheet 105-Clothing because the only products that consignors sell that are non-taxable are on that list. Please familiarize yourself as products such as receiving blankets, aprons, and yarn are non-taxable. I'm happy to provide another copy if you need it. If you are entering a non-taxable product, please uncheck or leave blank the Include Tax checkbox. This doesn't impact your earnings. It's charged to the customer and then we pay sales tax to the state. Include fee is checked and grayed out. This is the 3.5% surcharge I mentioned in the fee box above. This is applied to all products by default. Available online is editable and blank or unchecked. This option is moot as we don't yet sell online. The remaining boxes, jewelry label and small label, are both unchecked but available. The labels we use are 1 1/4 by 2 1/4 or Dymo 30334. If your products or tags are too small to fit those labels, we can print small labels which print on half of the 1 1/4 by 2 1/4 labels. However, we prefer the larger labels and ask that you accommodate this with your branding. When you have completed all the fields, hit Save and Close. This will return you to your item's landing page. Your product will be listed among your other inventory products if you have any. Execute these steps for each inventory product you want to add. Looking at the landing page under the quantity column, you will see that you are able to adjust the number without going into the product listing. This is purely for printing and only on the Avery labels. Changing the number in this column will not update the product's quantity. You must edit the product to do that. There are 2 ways to edit a listing. You can either click the icon in the right column under Alter or highlight the product by clicking on it and then clicking Alter Item in the top left of the page. When you alter a listing, never change the SKU unless you've never printed a label for that product. If you do that with products that have labels with that SKU, products with the original SKU will not scan, and then we have to do a manual entry. Manual entries add to our workload and won't show up in activity until we post the sales report. Make the changes and then click Save and Close. If you don't want to save the changes, simply click Close. If you are bringing in a restock of product, but your costs have changed and you want to change the price, create a new product altogether. This will give it its own unique SKU and you can set a different price. To delete a product, highlight the product you want to remove from your inventory and click Delete Item. Click Delete in the pop-up. Now the item is removed from your inventory. You will only be able to do this with one item at a time. As I said, the labels we use for vendor products are 1 1/4 by 2 1/4 inches. You will need to attach them to your product. We strongly recommend this is done using your branded hang tag. We ask that you attach the labels before you leave. This is for several reasons. We need you to confirm you entered the price correctly in rows. We want to make sure your labels get attached to the correct product. It gets your products to the floor faster and it lightens our workload. Everything to print labels is at the store. Laptop, labels, and a label printer. So please don't purchase anything to print labels at home. The platform for printing labels on the admin side is more efficient, so I recommend using that. We can try to print your labels ahead of time too. Just let us know you're coming by texting or calling the store number during business hours. However, if you have to do this yourself, here's how to print labels at the store from your vendor portal after you have the printer ready. From your selling landing page, go to the Avery Labels 1 by 1 inch -Presta dropdown. Select Dymo 2 1/4 by 1 1/4 label -30334 or the second one down. Pick one inventory product, note the quantity, and check the box under Print Label. You will only be able to print labels for one product at a time. Click Print Labels. A pop-up window appears with a print preview of the label. Verify for accuracy and click the printer icon. If the icon is not visible, it may be buried in the menu. This will open the print dialog box. If it's not already selected, find Dymo Label Writer 450 Turbo from the Destination dropdown. Adjust the quantity as necessary. Then under More Settings, ensure the paper size is 30334. When all of that is done, click Print. When the window closes, click Close to back out to your selling landing page. Uncheck the Print Label box of the item you just printed and repeat the steps I just showed you until you have printed all the labels you need. You will only be able to print one label at a time because multi-item printing is an additional paid feature. We do have other options available, including 1/2 by 1 7/8 and 1 by 1 1/4, but those will be used on a case-by-case basis. This covers rows by Consignor Connect and how it applies to our operations. Please comment with your questions.